Marie, my mother's name, and Daddy's Gits' name, which was mother's name, which was Virginia. So Marie was baptized Marie Virginia.
Then Ed was after...
And Edward was named after my father. No,
after your father's
father. My Ramey's father, Daddy's father.
Yeah.
That was Edward. And of course, then my father's name, the second name. I just went back and forth. Well...
Strange, Edward ended up looking like Edward.
Is that so? Yes,
when you look at his picture,
he's blonde, yes, yeah.
He has... he
yes,
looks a lot like Ed.
Yes, he had sandy hair just like that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Therese was the next one in line. And, of course, at that time, I had a niece that had been stricken with cancer of the bone. They called it sarcoma of the bone. And...
that was Genevieve.
Genevieve Michaels.
Yeah.
And so I was her godmother. And I thought it'd be nice to have her as a godmother of Therese. Mm-hmm. And since she was very, leaned towards the Saint Therese at the time, hoping that she would be cured of this ailment, I had Therese, the name Therese. Lucille. I didn't want I didn't want Teresa, so I thought, well, I'd get the name that would correspond nicely with it, so I named her Lucille. Therese Lucille, really, not to anybody, but the peculiar part of it is her mother-in-law's name is Lucille.
Oh.
And so that worked in very nicely, but it wasn't at that time that we knew that Lucille was going to be in the family. And so then...
well, okay, so...
Norbert was next.
Yeah.
And of
you're
course,
still in the apartment over there.
Yes.
And going...
on Adams
going to work.
on Adams Street.
You moved from there.
Oh, yes. No, wait a minute now. Then, of course, you were born, and at that time, Aunt Marie, not this Marie, Mary was her name. Mary Gits, who was Lewis's wife, and Mother Gits was living with them on Flournoy Street on the west side, near the Our Lady of Sorrows Church, was anticipating the arrival of another baby. Mm-hmm. That was the third child in the family at that time. She had lost one baby before that. And so they asked me if it would be all right to have Mother Gits come and stay with me at the time that she would be going to the hospital, which I graciously accepted to do. And so Mother Gits came to live with us then. Mm-hmm. And we had an apartment that had 3 bedrooms, and the one bedroom off of the kitchen was a very nice atmospheric room that overlooked the nice gardens of the houses next door and to the street that crossed north and south. So she had a very lovely looking room. And after she was with us for a while, and of course Mary had come home and everything was okay at their house, we asked, whether she wanted to go back to the apartment with Mary and Louie. And she says, well, if you don't mind, I would rather stay here because I have such a nice place. So I said, it's okay, Mother. So Mother Gits was with me when you were only, I think, August. This was, she was with me since the spring, and I had you in August, so she was there previous to the time that you were born.
Now, previous to that, though, what did her husband, Edward...
Well, that was years previous. That was when they were all home yet that this happened.
Oh.
They were all home. The whole family was home at the time that Father Gits died.
Was killed?
Yes, when he was killed, yes. Okay. And he had a blacksmith shop on one of the main streets in De Pere.
Yeah.
And the building is still there, but they have sort of renovated part of it, so it's not a blacksmith shop anymore, but they added something to the building, but it's still there. And I must have a picture of the house somewhere, either in movies or in a picture. And Sister Helen then was still home. She hadn't entered the convent at that time, and she had been taking music lessons, and so they thought they'd like to have a piano for her, and I guess they were able to buy one that was a used piano, and a couple of his friends and Father Gits, or Daddy Gits, not the Daddy Gits, but Edward Gits, decided that they would move the piano themselves, and as they were unloading the piano at the house, why somehow or other sliding it down the ramp off the truck, why it slipped off and crushed him. Mm-hmm. And of course, within, I guess, a matter of days, he died of a hemorrhage. So he was not more than about 45 years of age at the time.
Oh, my.
And, of course, irrespective of that, since Sister Helen had the inclination to become a nun, she entered the convent with Mother Gits's blessings. And Mother Gits then was left with the boys until they went to Chicago.
Okay, now you're back to the Mother Gits was living with you.
Yes, and then, of course, that was in August that you were born. And in December, she became seriously ill with diabetes. In fact, she had diabetes when she came to live with me. And I would go off on Mondays to visit my mother, as we 3 girls of the Heynen family did after we were married. And when I would come home, I would always find her in a sort of a coma. So it wasn't very pleasant for me, but I was able to take care of the situation. Although I never had any nurses training, I did the best I could. And the family, of course, came in every night during the week. Each one of the boys would take a turn and visit her. That was, without fail, each one regularly came to visit her from Monday to Saturday. Being 4 or 5 boys, of course, it took up the week, which made her very happy. And she died. Oh, yes. And at that time, the flu epidemic took place in Chicago. And we couldn't get a nurse. So Dr. Stackel says, well, do the best you can, because she won't get any care at the hospital. They couldn't get enough nurses to take care of her.
There's that many people sick, huh?
And so many died. So many died.